Ladies and gentlemen, my name is An Actual Bear. We're back with some more pickups. This first one's kind of a big thing because I've actually replaced my PS2 finally. I believe I've mentioned previously that... oh, actually, before I start, I should mention... if you can hear a fan in the background, then I do apologise, but it is very hot today in the UK as I record this, so... yeah, the fan is a necessary evil, I'm afraid, because if I had to sit here for like 10 minutes without a fan on me, I would actually cry. Anyway, so my PS2 needed replacing, obviously, as I think I've mentioned before. It could read DVDs mostly fine. It was CDs that were having the problem, which is a common issue, especially with like fat PS2s. So we have a slim PS2. And it came with a bunch of games, as you'd expect. I paid for everything, including 2 controllers, 2 memory cards, all the cables and everything else. I paid 60 quid, which I think is pretty good considering, considering a couple of the games. There's some sport game stuff in here, quite a bit of it, but there's a couple of things that grabbed my eye, including one thing in particular that is pretty cool. So overall I did pretty well. Actually, let me just see if I can... I've got the box next to me with the rest of the stuff in. So that's one of the controllers. They're both official controllers too, which is always a nice bonus. So, because my controller was an old unofficial one, so since I started collecting again, I hadn't had a proper controller. So that's all good. And then here's the actual console itself, with the 2 memory cards plugged in and everything. So yeah, looks to be in decent shape. So I'm happy with that overall. We'll put that over there for now. Move these out of the way. Yeah, it came with a bunch of games as well, so I thought I'd go through them all. I started with this one because it's not the most valuable thing here. You can get this on CX for a £5, but it's cool in it. So I already have The Godfather, but I did not have this limited edition, and it comes in this really cool like slipcover thing, and then it's a steelbook, which I love steelbooks. They're great. This one's a bit plain, and there are a couple of dents in the back, as you can see, so it's not in like perfect condition by any means, but it's not bad at all. I've seen a lot worse steelbooks in this state, and considering this is a 15-year-old steelbook, it's not too bad. And it comes with everything inside as well. So you've got the manual, you've got the map here, which was a thing for the limited edition. And there's the game itself, and then you've got the bonus disc, which I think is just like a couple of documentaries about the making of the game and things of that nature. So, yeah, that's the Godfather limited edition. That caught my eye straight away when I saw the advert, just because I knew it wasn't particularly wasn't massively valuable, but it's worth a £5, and it looks really cool, and I wanted it, so there you go. We'll put that over there. So we're just going to start with a couple of the more sort of sporty things. It did come with a PS1 game, bizarrely, Premier Manager 98. I actually remember this game when I was young. I actually played this, so it's a bit of a nostalgia hit for me. I probably won't play it again, because, it's a 23-year-old football manager game, but also, when I opened it, it had another game inside it, bizarrely. There's a manual, well, not that manual, there's a manual here for the Sky Sports football quiz. And as you can see, it has the disc. I don't even know how scratched up this is, or I don't even know if the guy knew it was in here. No, I've seen worse in terms of PS1 discs, but yeah, that was, I mean, hey, it's a freebie, so I'm not going to complain about that. But putting this away is going to be a bit annoying, because it might get stuck in the thing. There we go. But yeah, that was the thing that happened. We have... Oh god, this. Okay. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire 2nd edition. I'm going to turn this over now and show you the back. If you are prone to sleep paralysis, do not look at your screen for the next, until I move on to the next game, because this will replace the demon in your sleep paralysis dreams. Here we go. PS2 Chris Tarrant. Absolutely horrifying. I genuinely, I turned it over and saw that, and yeah, I voided my bowels when I saw this. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not aged well, has it? But yeah, I'm sure this is a perfectly competent edition of the game. I mean, there's going to be Americans watching this having no idea who Chris Tarrant is. He was the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in the UK. It's as simple as that, really. I believe this was a UK concept originally, this game show, so he is actually the original host, and he's quite a popular UK celebrity. He's been on the radio for 1 billion years, and everyone knows who he is. Should also point out that the radio in the UK is still kind of seen as a bit more important maybe than it is in the US. Like, there's national radio stations and radio DJs, and they're relatively well known. So, I mean, I don't actually know anyone personally who still listens to the radio, but I think it's a thing. It must be, because the BBC spend millions on it, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's Chris Tarrant's terrifying face, and that's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire second edition. I think the first edition was on PS1, so I'm assuming this is the only version on the PS2, but I honestly have no idea. We've got another sport thing here, LME Manager 2006. I also had this when I was younger, so I haven't actually checked the inside of a lot of these, so I will double check, but yeah. You never know, you might open it and find like Project Zero or something inside. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, we have a duplicate, Agent Under Fire here, another Bond game. This might be the third copy of this game, I honestly can't remember, but you're going to see a lot of Bond stuff. This and Nightfire were the two Bond games that did really well, if I remember rightly. I think Everything or Nothing may have sold quite a lot too, but you're going to see these games a lot. So, but anyway, I think my old PS2, I'm going to sell it, but disclose the fact that CDs struggle, but most games will be fine, and just put it up for a cheaper price. And I'll throw some of these duplicate games in there as well, put the value up a little bit. Plus, it gets rid of them. We've got Championship Manager 5 here. It had like mould on the top of the case or something. It looked really strange, but I've cleaned that off, so it's all fine now. So yeah, I think that's the actual game. So no Project Zero this time, or indeed like Rule of Rose or something. We've got FIFA 2003 here. Let's see. Yep, that's all complete and everything. So there are a lot of sport games, as mentioned, but it does get better. I'm trying to save the better stuff for the end. I think everything else on this pile is either duplicates or sport games. So we'll go through them quickly. We've got Nightfire. I told you there'd be a lot of these. I think there's a third copy of Nightfire I've got already, including the one that I owned originally anyway. But this is in good shape, actually. It might be better than the one I've got, so that might be an upgrade, which is nice, I suppose. This, in the advert, it was just a stack of games, and then there was this one, and you could just see that, and it's like, that could be anything. Turns out it's Pro Evolution Soccer 6, so slightly disappointing, especially because it's a game I already fucking own anyway, but never mind. Let's see what the disc is like, actually. Scratch to fuck. Okay, so that's probably just going to get binned then. That being said, never turn down a spare case, especially a blue one, because they're kind of harder to get hold of generally. So, there you go. We have SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. I don't know if I have this, actually. If I do, it's in shit condition, because most of my wrestling games are for some reason, so at the very least, this is an upgrade. So, I'm pretty happy with that. It's got the manual and everything. It's in pretty good condition, so all good. Good game as well. It's one of the best wrestling games ever, I would say, this one. So, if you're into that sort of thing. Then again, if you're into it, you probably have already played it. Pro Evolution Soccer 4. I actually have a lot of fond memories of this game. This was an absolute banger of a game back in the day. And what the flying fuck? Okay, where did that come from? Why is there a copy of Nightfire in here? Is that the fourth copy? Hang on. Let me actually... Is this... Okay, so we have 4 copies now of 0079. See, I did say we'd get a lot of these. I just didn't expect it to be such a, well, a problem, quite frankly. This is in good condition considering it's just been floating around here. But yeah, I have no idea where this guy got this from, because he already had the game, so I don't know what's going on. It's very confusing, but anyway. I'm assuming he just found these games in a loft or something and just, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, we have another copy of 007 Nightfire. I'm sick of seeing this now. I love the game. It's a great game, but 4 copies of it, I don't think we need that many. A couple more sport ones. We've got PES 2008. This is actually, like, not uncommon because, I mean, it's not valuable or anything, but it's... You see it less than the earlier PES games, because this is when the PES games... I mean, this was, like, later PS2, you know, PS3 and 360 were kind of the in thing at the time. But also, this is when PES started to go downhill, was the start of this game. So you see this one a bit less, but that doesn't make it valuable, obviously. But hey, I didn't have it, and I needed to get it at some point, so I don't really mind. And then FIFA Street, which is worth more than your average sport game. These street games usually are. This one goes for like £1.50 on CEX, so it's not going to be a... You know, it's not valuable, but it's also not worthless like most old sport games, so I was fine with that. Now we're going to get into some of the more valuable stuff. I'm just seeing if there's anything... No, there's no duplicates or anything in this pile, but there are. I'll leave them 3 there for the end. I've spoiled this one because I've shown it by accident, so I may as well just show it. The Simpsons skateboarding. If I remember rightly, this game's bloody awful, but, you know. Yeah, all complete and everything. There's a story that comes with this game, and 2 others like it. I'll get to that at the end. We'll do the others first. So we've got Canis Canem Edit. This is also a duplicate, but this is in really good shape. So I don't know if mine's in good condition or not. I honestly can't remember. If I remember rightly, mine's in pretty good shape, so this might end up just being like bundled with the other console, but it all adds value, so, you know, not going to complain. We've got Splashdown. I know nothing about this. Apparently Atari published it. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, obviously it's a jet ski racing game, right? But honestly, other than that, I have no idea what this is. So we have Smuggler's Run 2, Hostile Territory. We played the first one, or we showed the first one in a previous video. This looks kind of more of the same, which is fine, because I actually really liked the first Smuggler's Run when I played it briefly. So, yeah. There we go. We've got both Smuggler's Runs games on the PS2. I think there's one on the GameCube as well, but yeah, I don't know about that. We've got Spider-Man 2. I don't think we had this. Yeah, we didn't. We had Spider-Man 3, I think, and we've got Ultimate Spider-Man as well, but we haven't got 2 yet, so that's good. I've mentioned this a couple of times before because it's considered one of the best movie tie-in games ever. In terms of being faithful to the source material, it doesn't get much better than this. The web swinging system is still pretty much the best in any Spider-Man game. I mean, to be fair, I haven't played Insomniac's one, so that might be better by now, I would have figured. But this nailed it. It was the first Spider-Man game that really nailed the feeling of swinging through the city. Really fucking good. So, yeah. And, I mean, the mission design is kind of so-so, but my God, just moving around the city as Spider-Man is so cool in this game. So I've got a lot of time for it. So it's a very good technical achievement as well. So good stuff. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. This is worth a few quid. It's like a $5, I think, if I remember, on CEX. So not too bad. I don't know what kind of shape it's in. I'm assuming it's all good. Yeah, most of these games tend to be in decent shape. So that was another thing that drew me to the advert, was the fact that, you know, the games that I was interested in were in good shape. We'll do the final 2 now. I kind of spoiled one earlier, and you could probably tell where this is going. Simpsons Road Rage, which was this was like a Crazy Taxi knockoff, basically, but with Simpsons characters. And it's pretty good, honestly. Yeah, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Doesn't really surprise in any real way, but it does the job, you know. And then, finally, The Simpsons Hit and Run. This game, I have no idea why. I think partly the fact it's a bit of a cult classic. It's often considered the best Simpsons game. I personally do not hold that opinion. I would say the best Simpsons games are the arcade game, the Konami one. I think that's a great beat 'em up. And then I actually prefer Road Rage to Hit and Run. I know that's weird as hell. Hit and Run always felt to me, it's GTA but without any of the polish, essentially. And it feels a lot more limited. The world's a lot smaller. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Hit and Run. I never really played it much as a kid, so I don't have that nostalgic view towards it, you know. What I will say is the writing is pretty great, and there's a lot of content in this game. So most people will prefer this one, but anyway, I'm weird like that. But yeah, this game it goes for like £15 on CEX, and on eBay you're looking at probably at least 10, I would say, to get a decent quality copy. So I don't know why this game has held its value really like it has. It's held it pretty damn well. I don't know whether it was just printed in small numbers. I mean, I can't imagine it was, because it's a Simpsons game, for Christ's sake. But I don't know. I mean, EA, did they publish? Yeah, well, EA, they distributed this game, it says, and then I think the Simpsons Skateboarding, they did the same. Yeah, co-published. But I don't think Hit and Run was not, so I don't know if that's something to do, but maybe Sierra, who it looks like partnered with Fox on this one. I think maybe that's why you don't see this as much as these games. One is that this is more critically regarded anyway, and is a bit of a cult favourite, but also I'm guessing it was distributed in smaller numbers. That would be my assumption, but I have nothing to back that up, so it could just be absolute waffle. I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, that's the lot. So yeah. I was happy to get these. Road Rage usually goes for like maybe a $5 or so. Hit and Run, obviously, you're looking at 10 to 15. Simpson Skateboarding's like £3 or something. And then Pro Skater 4, you're looking at another $5 there. And even stuff like, you know, Canis Canem edit here goes for like maybe 4 or 5. And it's a good quality copy as well. And the Godfather Steelbook, which I've now got to find because it's buried. There we go. This goes for another 5. So overall, I think if you combine the cost of the console, 2 official controllers, both in pretty good shape. One of them needs dusting. Is it this one or no? It's the other one. This one actually is fine, but the other one needs dusting. But yeah, combine that, the 2 memory cards, again, both official. The bonus game, of course, that we got. Yeah, if you combine everything, I think 60 quid, considering also the guy drove like 20 minutes to bring it here, so I was also paying for his fuel partly as well. I think 60 quid is pretty good deal, so I was happy with that. But yeah, also the facial recognition on the camera is picking up Marlon Brando here, so that's a thing. He can go in the pile with Chris Tarrant. In fact, where is Chris Tarrant and his terrifying face? Look at that. Make it happen, Hollywood. Horror movie. Chris Tarrant, Marlon Brando. Obviously, slight issue, Marlon Brando has been dead now for approximately 17 years, but, you know, technology moves fast, so make it happen. Do like a CGI thing, I don't know. What's wrong with your face? What's wrong with your face? Okay, we have another bundle here. I think I'm going to end the video after this one. I think 2's enough because they're both quite big bundles. Plus, I mean, I want to try and shorten the length of these videos if I can anyway. You know, plus room is starting to become an issue, so, or space, I should say. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I can make some more space fairly easily. So yeah, we'll sort it. Yeah, so this new bundle, what I've done is put the duplicates up first. So we've got a weird platinum copy in a blue case. I'm assuming that case has been swapped out at some point, but we've got Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup anyway. As I say, we've already got these. So GTA San Andreas. Let me just check what shape this is in. There's no manual, so that's fine. It's going to be worse than my other copy, so that's all good. Medal of Honor Frontline. I think this is the 3rd copy I have now of this. This also doesn't have a manual. And then we have another copy of the Simpsons Hit and Run. So I was saying how... why is there 2 stickers? What happened here? Anyway. Yeah, so I was obviously saying how this game is, you know, you probably get a tenner for it. So there you go. We've got another copy and it's in really good condition too. So what I'm probably going to do is just sell this copy on its own because you can easily get a tenner for it. So I may as well. It pretty much means that this whole bundle was about 15 quid really if you want to deduct that, and you'll see it's worth it specifically for like one thing at the end, and there's a couple of things that are decent, but we'll go through this handful here. So we've got Lord of the Rings The Two Towers. It is all complete. I haven't actually checked any of these discs yet. I've literally only just got these in. So Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. All the Spyro games on PS2 they're all in that same bracket of like £5 to £10, except one of them, which on CEX is like 15 quid for some reason. I don't know why that is, but all of them are about the same sort of bracket, so that's got some value to it. We have Madagascar. It doesn't feel like the manual's in here. Oh no, it is. It's just a small manual. It felt light. Yeah, there's that. And also, free child's movie ticket inside. Oh, offer ends 31st of August 2005. Gonna be honest, the time machine's not finished, so what can you do? Anyway, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. These games are great, by the way, the Battlefront games. I mean, I'm sure everyone's played them by now, but yeah, really, really fun. We have Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. These, actually, growing up, Wallace and Gromit was the shit. It was great. So... yeah, I have a soft spot for this, to say the least. Oh, okay. No, I was about to say, I think I have this already, but I don't. It's Shrek 3 that I already have. But yeah, we've got Shrek 2 now, with a terrifying face on the front cover, as you would expect. The first Star Wars Battlefront. This is good stuff. These are all in really good condition as well. Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Somehow didn't have this yet, even though this is one of the most common PS2 games, because it sold really well off the back of how successful Medal of Honor Frontline was. So those 2 games are very common. You'll see them quite a lot. And so I'm surprised I don't really have this one yet, to be honest. I've never actually played this because I was told it's just like Medal of Honor Frontline, but not as good. But I'll give that a go, probably. And then Lego Star Wars 2, which is all complete and everything. So I think this was the one that everyone really liked because, you know, original trilogy and not the god-awful prequels, but never mind. Got some more coming in. We've got the first Lego Star Wars. Again, it's all complete. You can probably guess what just happened. Anyway, I'm sure they'll be fine. Lego Star Wars, the first one. The Polar Express, which apparently has iToy support. Did not know that. That's all there. We have episode... tipping this way now. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. That is also all there. Rugby League. This is the only game that's broken. Which side is it? There we go. Yeah, they already disclosed that the case on this one was fucked. So it's all complete, but obviously needs a new case, which I probably have spare cases lying around. I could swap it out with, I'm sure. So we'll figure out something. And then Ice Age 2 here. Again, all complete. There are a lot of... You're probably noticing, actually, as, again, the pile tip. Brilliant. You're probably noticing that there are a lot of movie tie-ins, specifically family sort of movies circa 2005-ish. Basically, every movie from that time had a tie-in of some sort. And that kind of speaks to the rising cost of game development, really, because, I mean, you're not talking about, like, you know, Sierra published this. They were a pretty big publisher, right? And then you go back to, was it Madagascar, I believe? Yeah, Activision published this, you know. These companies, it was viable to do this back in the day because you could pump something out like this relatively cheap. I don't know who actually developed this. Does it even say? Oh, it was Toys for Bob, apparently. Well, there you go. They're actually, like, legit developers. They obviously made the recent Crash Bandicoot stuff. And I think maybe the Spyro remaster too. I can't really remember. But the point is, it was viable back then for companies big publishers to do these kind of games. Nowadays, not so much because it would just cost too much and probably wouldn't sell enough. But a game like this, you could sell a relatively small amount of copies to kids and you would still make your money back, even through the cost of actually licensing the IP, which is probably the most expensive part of making this, I would imagine. And that's not to say these games are necessarily bad. It's just that they're all they follow the same formula, you know. And plus, when you get like Toys for Bob involved, they know what they're doing with like sort of family-friendly platformers, so to speak. So it makes sense. Sorry about the dog barking, by the way. I have the window open for the same reason as yesterday, in that it's bloody hot. We have one last game, which is this one, Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. For some reason, this game is worth like 10 to 15 quid. Again, it's like Simpsons Hit and Run, where it's just inexplicably worth a fair amount of money. So that was another one that I was quite happy to get because, you know, it made the whole bundle worth it, really. Because a lot of these games, I mean, like this one, for example, a smashed up Rugby League, probably not worth that much money. But, you know, some like Lego Star Wars stuff is decent, the Battlefront stuff, and then obviously, I mean, these two are obviously the highlights. I already have this now, but this is literally, like, it's an easy tenner. You know, I can sell this on eBay and there you go, boom. Or even CEX, I think, will give you, like, 8 or 9 quid for this because they sell it for 15. So, you know, most PS2 stuff, CEX will give you next to nothing. For example, middle over on the front line here, this is the CEX sell this for 50p because it's such a common game. I can take this into CEX, and if I want cash, they will give me 1 pence. So if I take in 100 copies of this, they will give me £1. Or, I have no idea what that bang was. Again, windows open, I do apologise. Or, I can take this into CEX and get trade-in credit, store credit, whatever you want to call it. They will give me 2 pence if I do that. So I'd only need 50 copies then to get £1. But yeah, that's the point I'm making, is that, you know, a lot of these games is just not worth taking them in or trading them. You may as well just hold on to them and sell them as a bundle on eBay, or even if you want to do Facebook Marketplace, because then they'll come and collect it or whatever, you know. But something like Hit and Run or this, if you've got a duplicate, you may as well sell it separately because it is worth it then at that point, you know. Or take it into CEX, because again, if they're going to sell it for 15 quid, then they're going to give you probably 7 or 8. So if you just don't want the hassle, you could take in a few games at a time and get good money, and then you just get a load with the trading credit. So yeah, So anytime I get a chance to pick up Hit and Run, I'm going to do it if it's worth doing it, you know. So this, I looked at this and was immediately like, okay, basically I reduced the cost of the bundle by like 8 or 10 quid, because immediately I'm going to get some of my money back from that. And then at that point, it made the bundle very easy to make a decision on, especially when I saw, I mean, San Andreas is worth like a £5. This is obviously, let's say, over a tenner. So again, you know, basic economics in it. Anyway, I want to rearrange my sort of living area so that I can actually fit more things in, because at the moment, space is an issue. It's starting to become a genuine issue. However, I do know of things I can get rid of and things I can move, so I can make the space. It's just, at the moment, CBA, given the weather, it is way too hot. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Too late. Thanks for watching as ever. And I'll be back with some other video at some point in the near future. Maybe soon, maybe. I don't know. I can't be any more specific than that because my brain is not like normal brains. I don't make plans. My life just sort of happens around me. So there you go. Anyway, is there anything amusing I can leave you with? Unfortunately, Chris Tarrant is not in hand reach at the moment, so I can't show you his terrifying face again. Is there anything funny? We will find something amusing, maybe. No, there's absolutely nothing amusing. There you go. Our poo looks startled. There you go. I am a racial stereotype or something. Anyway, bye.